Welcome to our Mock Interview Pro series. Today, we're focusing on the role of a provider enrollment specialist. If you're preparing for an interview in this field, you're in the right place. Let's dive into some common interview questions and how you can tackle them with confidence. Starting with teamwork. Can you share an experience where you collaborated with a team on a provider enrollment project? Interviewers ask this to understand your ability to work effectively in a team setting and contribute to group success. Here are some tips to help you craft your response. Think of a specific project involving teamwork. Clarify your role and contributions. Discuss any challenges faced and how you overcame them as a team. Highlight the project's outcome with any relevant metrics. Reflect on the lessons you learned and your personal growth. Now, let's look at a couple of example answers to see how you can bring this all together.
In my last position, my team and I worked on enrolling a group of new providers. I coordinated the paperwork and tracked submissions. We hit a snag with missing documents, but I organized a meeting to address the gaps, and we met our deadline. The enrollment boosted our network by 15%. I learned the value of clear communication within a team.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for Provider Enrollment Specialist. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Tell me about a challenging issue you faced during the provider enrollment process and how you handled it. This question aims to assess your problem-solving skills and how you approach obstacles in the enrollment process. To structure your answer effectively, consider these pointers. Identify a specific challenge you encountered. Describe the steps you took to understand the issue. Include any collaboration with team members or stakeholders. Explain the resolution process and the final outcome. Mention any lessons that improved your future approach. Let's go through an example to illustrate a solid answer.
During the provider enrollment process, I faced a challenge with a provider's credentials being flagged. I reviewed the documents thoroughly and contacted the provider for clarification. By collaborating with our credentialing team, we gathered the updated information and resolved the issue, enhancing our documentation process for future enrollments.
Can you give an example of how you manage multiple provider enrollment requests under tight deadlines? This question evaluates your time management abilities and how you prioritize tasks under pressure. Here are some strategies to consider when forming your response. Assess requests by urgency and importance. Communicate priorities clearly with your team. Utilize a tracking system to monitor progress and deadlines. Focus first on high-impact enrollments. Stay organized and manage your time effectively. Here's an example to guide you on how to present your experience.
In my previous role, during a busy enrollment period, I categorized requests by deadlines and importance to the practice. I communicated priorities with my team and used project management software to track progress. This helped us complete the critical enrollments on time.
What steps would you take if you found a discrepancy in a provider's enrollment application? Interviewers want to know how you handle discrepancies with attention to detail and ethical standards. Consider these steps when addressing this type of question. Carefully review the specifics of the discrepancy. Gather all relevant documentation. Contact the provider to discuss and clarify the issue. Document all communications and findings. Submit your findings to the relevant department for resolution. Let's go over an example to see how you might navigate this situation.
First, I would review the application to pinpoint the discrepancy. Then, I'd collect the necessary documents and reach out to the provider for clarification. I'd document everything and escalate it to my supervisor for further action.
How would you handle a situation where a provider is frustrated with a delay in their enrollment? This question checks your customer service skills and ability to manage provider relationships during stressful situations. Here are some steps for effectively handling such situations. Acknowledge the provider's frustration and listen actively. Explain the reasons for the delay clearly and calmly. Provide a timeline for resolution and the steps being taken. Offer to follow up regularly with updates. Reassure the provider that their enrollment is a priority. Let's look at an example response to this situation.
I would start by acknowledging the provider's frustration and assuring them of my help. Then, I'd explain the delay's reasons and provide a clear timeline for resolution. I'd offer to check in weekly until the issue is resolved, ensuring they feel supported.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step by step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free. Just grab it below.